This is for you DIY guys who want to upgrade your own turbo and build your own turbo. We'll go over what it includes and the different options that we have. There are 3 different sizes, the 61, the 63.5, and the 64.7. Essentially, the 61 is going to spool faster, works best with stock injectors. As you go up in injector size, you can go up to the 63.5 or the 64.7. We also have the option of including our upgraded 10-blade turbine wheel. Now the upgraded 10-blade turbine wheel will add that famous 2003 turbo whistle, but they also flow a little more on the top end. So as you're getting into the bigger injectors and the bigger compressor wheel sizes, we highly recommend the 10-blade turbine wheel. So when you order the DIY kit, the turbine wheel, and the rebuild kit from us, we'll actually balance the whole thing up as an assembly. Assembly balancing is when you take the turbine wheel, which has previously been component balanced. You put on the oil slinger and thrust collar, and then you install the compressor wheel. You torque it down to spec, and then balance it as a complete assembly. So all of your DIY kits, as long as you order the turbine wheel, the rebuild kit, and the compressor wheel, will come assembly balanced. Now we'll even mark it on the shaft, so when you're installing this in your own turbo, you'll know where to torque it down to. Now there's a lot of questions we get asked about the DIY kits, and one of the most common questions we get asked is this exactly the same as buying a complete turbo? And the simple answer is no. These aren't the exact same parts we stick in our turbos, they're not the same covers we stick in our turbos, and more importantly, all of our KC turbos are built from genuine brand new Garrett OEM turbos. So that's new vanes, new unison ring, new VGT solenoid, new bearing housing. With all new parts, you can run tighter tolerances and tighter clearances, which will make your turbo run better, make more power, and last longer. Another question we get asked is, why can't I put the 64.7 compressor wheel on a 2007 turbine wheel? It's because the 2007 turbine wheel is actually smaller than the 04 and the 03 turbine wheel. And when you put that big of a compressor wheel on that small of a turbine wheel, you can run into surging issues where you're bouncing off the surge line on the compressor map. So it just doesn't run well, so we don't recommend it. To have some people run it in the past, yes, but there's no real advantage because that small 07 turbine wheel isn't big enough to power that 64.7 compressor wheel. So when you order the DIY kit from us, it'll come with a backing plate, the compressor cover, and the larger upgraded compressor wheel. We've machined these to accept the larger wheel. We've upgraded the map groove and removed the silencer ring. So we get a lot of questions, will I still have to do any machine work? The answer is no. This will bolt right on any factory 6.0 turbo. A lot of people think DIY kits were intended for just saving money, and they're not. These DIY kits will not perform as the complete upgraded KC turbo. So we get asked, why did we make DIY kits? Well, we got contacted by a lot of people that said, hey, I want to build my own turbo, I want to put my own stuff together, I like building all my own parts, and I want to build it. Well, we've got you covered. This isn't meant for the average Joe who doesn't even change his own brakes. You have to be very knowledgeable. You have to know the tolerances and specs. We don't have install videos or instructions because it is assumed when you buy this kit, you know how to put it together. This is only meant for experienced mechanics or turbo builders or people who want to get in and learn how to build their own turbo. If you can't change your own brakes, then go ahead and skip over this.